one of the best days of my life. First of all, congratulations to Bronny on his decision he made. I'm super proud of him. Our family is proud of him. For me personally, it's even more special to me because it's the first time someone out of my family to go to college. Obviously, I didn't go to college either. So it's just a proud moment to see my son go to college, and he's the first one to go to college in my family. So super duper proud, super emotional, but just super duper excited and happy for his journey.
The James family, you heard it, winning on and off the court. Shout out to Bronny, man, on the commitment. It is official. Going to USC. I kind of felt like that this was going to be the direction things were going in when they had a 4-star guard, Silas DeMary Jr., decommit, now going to Georgia. It seemed like it opened up the room for Bronny just to come in and fill an open void. And you look at it, and he feels like the perfect 3 for this group. Let's get into it.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Now, I mentioned Bronny looks like a really good fit at the 3 with his shooting ability, able to open up the floor. He might give up some size, but his physicality and athletic ability will make up for that, especially on the defensive end. Scouts are already regarding him as one of the best catch and shooters in this class, as well as maybe the best all-around perimeter defender. Yeah, he locks up. Bronny is a guy that has continued to progress over the last 4 years. A lot of other kids in this class hit their peak early, but Bronny's best basketball is obviously ahead for him. He's continued to just get more athletic, grow into his body, get more physical, fill out into that James body. He's a knockdown shooter, will create spacing and open things up for drivers in the lane for this USC group, especially for a guy that they're teaming him up with in Isaiah Collier, the number 1 player in this class. Now, presumably so, he'll be the starting point guard in this group and the main initiator on offense. He sees the floor really well and makes things easy for the guys around him. Collier can change speeds in the blink of an eye. He's tough to keep out of the paint, gets those paint touches, and can finish over smaller defenders through them or go around bigger ones. Nice mid-range, and he can also play a little off-ball too, leaving room for maybe Bronny to be that secondary third ball handler. But I think also he could make Bronny's life a lot easier as well. Coming in, Bronny can just really focus on shooting that rock, opening up lanes, and just guarding the opposition's best player. Also for USC, you would assume the number 1 scoring option coming back, Boogie Ellis, averaged 17 points per game last year. Not really known as a playmaker, but he will give them a big shot maker, a leader in the locker room, and someone that's been on the big stage playing in the NCAA tournament last year. These 3 may have to carry majority of the scoring load with the departures of Pac-12 Six-Man of the Year Reese Dixon Waters and guard Trey White. Both guys averaged over 9 points per game last year and played over 20 minutes. They also lose lead assist man and rebounder Drew Peterson, the big guard. He was Ellis's partner in crime last year. That's a lot of production to replace, especially in the backcourt. Bronny and Collier make this team must-watch TV, though. These 2 guys have played with and against each other. They are extremely familiar with one another's game, and Collier made it known, like I said, at the McDonald's All-American game, he's recruiting Bronny hard. Bronny's been the subject of a lot of talk since he stepped onto a basketball court, trying to live up to those expectations of having one of the greatest to ever touch a basketball as a dad, but he's coming into his own and just become a player in his own right. You know, he's not LeBron James Sr., but he has a really good game about him. He's looking like he could play the point guard position at the next level some, and then eventually maybe full time in the NBA. Some mock drafts have him as high as 10th already, so it's going to be exciting to see, man. In some way, too early polls, USC is ranked as high as 15th with the announcement of Bronny's arrival recently. Now, they will look to rebound after being bounced out of the tournament in the first round last year by Michigan State. But this group does have a potential three-headed monster with James, Ellis, and Collier. So it'll be exciting to see how quickly these guys can gel and get things rolling up in Trojan land. But you look at it, Caleb Williams, Juju Watkins, Collier, and now Bronny in the fold. USC is the university for stars, and I think Bronny will absolutely shine there. Expectations gonna be high, but Coach Andy Onfield is a really good coach, a player's coach, and really gets the best out of his guys and lets those guys run. So the return of Boogie Ellis will be huge for this group, but I think Bronny fits in really well at the 3. He'll be able to knock down shots and space the floor for Collier as well as Ellis to operate in the lane, and those guys are big-time shot makers in their own right as well. So I think it's a really good fit, and I think Bronny should have an immediate impact. 4-star prospect, top 50 prospect. Some have him as high as a 5-star prospect. And I think, like I said, his best basketball is absolutely ahead of him. Big things coming for Bronny James at USC. This is a team that won 22 games last season, and they had an early disappointing exit from the NCAA tournament, losing as a 10th seed to Michigan State in the first round. But now people are saying around the game that they are the favorites to take the Pac-12 championship home, and that the Pac-12 runs through LA. So we will have to see about that. Big expectations coming in. And especially with the arrival of Bronny, with his following and reputation, there was already going to be a lot of eyes on them. But now, when naysayers saying that they are the most talented team in the Pac-12 and the Pac-12 runs through them, that only adds that much more pressure. But I think they're built for it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, how everything is going to play out. Holler at your boy. This is Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV, and this has been Live with Brandon Blakeney. That's a wrap for us. You dig?